Joining me now is attorney Scott Meyers. He has defended many high-profile insider trading and fraud cases, including Bernie Ebbers and WorldCom so long ago. And Scott, thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Betty.
Okay, so before I get into some of the nitty-gritty of this case, I mean, what do you make of the fact that this employee, this former employee, has come out against Raj? I mean, I expect that we're going to hear a lot more people involved in this.
I think that's absolutely right. And there's an old saying in these cases that the first person on the bus gets the best seat. It's not uncommon for somebody to cut a deal with the government, try and reduce, in this case, her sentence, which is what we're seeing here, and try and provide very helpful information. She's certainly going to be a central figure in this case, and her credibility and veracity is really going to be the cornerstone of both the SEC and the DOJ's ability to prosecute this case effectively.
Scott, do you have any sense of how big this investigation is eventually going to get?
Well, this is really a perfect storm of three factors. One, you've had the SEC after hedge funds for a long time. They have their own working group task force that's been looking at it. Insider trading is always a very hot topic for SEC and DOJ. And then you've got the post-Madoff situation where the SEC and regulators in general are looking for a very big, high-profile win. You combine all three of those factors together, and what we suspect is this is going to be a very, very large investigation, not necessarily just with this fund, but from what we're hearing, there's some other players involved as well who haven't been named. There's more coming down the road, which we may be hearing very soon.
One thing I want to get, though, is, you know, there's a lot to lose for the SEC, but also for the investors. I mean, you know, the fund is liquidating. What is going to happen to them? And those that actually profited from the insider trading, you know, unbeknownst to them, are they going to have to return that money?
Well, that's an interesting question. Significantly, the fund itself, where the investors are located, is not named as a defendant in either the SEC's case or the criminal complaint. The individuals, to the extent that they profit, and the investment manager are really in the crosshairs of having to give back their profits, paying penalties, potentially going to jail. From what we're seeing right now, the investors look to be okay. The fund is going to unwind, and assuming that there's no Ponzi scheme here, this is not a Madoff situation, then they will eventually, as the fund unwinds, get a check back and have whatever proceeds are left, minus whatever proceeds have to be given up in connection with any penalties that are paid if those are clawed back from the fund.
Okay, very interesting. Scott, thank you so much. That's all the time that we have. Scott Meyers, attorney there, talking about the Galleon case.